John, you were such a prodigy as a young player that you had to skip divisions, play with older players. When did you know that you were on the ice, you were as good or better than everybody else that was out there?
Well, I guess I realized when I had a really good chance to, do this for a living, and I guess fulfill my dream in playing the NHL was probably when I got drafted to the Austrian Generals in the OHL and was given that exceptional player status so I could play a year early. That's when I really realized that's probably when things turned. My life changed quite a bit, so but worked out for the best, and it really accelerated things really quickly.
What was that experience like for them to have changed the rules so that you could be drafted a year earlier?
I didn't really pay much attention to it. I think I was just looking forward to continue to challenge myself at the next level and take another step in my development, and obviously trying to live my dream and playing the NHL. So that was a big step to play junior hockey in Canada. Obviously, it's not an easy thing to do to get to that level. I was just moving on with my peers. I was playing with an age group older than me, and they were getting drafted and playing junior hockey. Meanwhile, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for next year, and I was lucky enough to get to be given that rule and allowed to play. And I just felt like I was moving on with my peers, and was looking forward to the opportunity. Obviously, I think that was the first time I started to hear some negativity and some other things that come with a lot of attention. A lot of people didn't think maybe it was the right call for such a young player to be living on his own or with another family and being in junior hockey away from home. But they thought I was ready for it, and I think it worked out pretty well.
So that happens when you're 14, you're 23 now. How have you dealt with those expectations over the years of a decade or so of the next big thing, the highly touted player coming up?
Well, I don't think I tried to live up to anyone's expectations. I think I always loved to play. Obviously, being an offensive player, I love to score. I love to do those things, and every time I played, that's just what I tried to do. I didn't try to be something I wasn't, or worry about living up to certain expectations. I believed in what I can do, and I worked hard and loved to play, and I just wanted to keep getting to the next level and obviously achieve your goals and live your dream playing in the NHL, and obviously trying to then become a good player and strive for more each and every year. So I never focused on those things. I think it was more the pressure and the expectations I put on myself to want to be successful and not be satisfied with what I've done, and try not to be distracted by those things.
So if I told you to stop being a player for a second and be a scout, what would be your scouting report on yourself as a player?
Scouting report, it's probably changed quite a bit over the years, but obviously I think I'd like to shoot the puck, but I also want to be be a guy that's tough to read and have many different options, whether that's making a pass or making a good play, being strong on the puck down low, and try to be reliable defensively and counted on in all areas of the ice. So I think I've improved my skating, so a little more deceptive with my speed now, and I guess that's a pretty generalized, broad view of the way I try to play.
What is the greatest compliment one of your teammates could pay to you?
I don't take a day off. I don't take anything for granted. I think every single day, there's never a day where I'm like, I'll just get through today and make sure I'll work hard tomorrow. I think every day, whether you don't feel very good or things haven't been going as well or things are going well, you just don't want to be satisfied and don't want to be content with what you've done. And I try to work hard and push myself every day, every time I'm in the gym or I'm on the ice, every drill, try to make every pass right on the tape, try to score on every shot. So I just don't take a play off, I guess.
Last year, Hart Trophy finalist with Ovechkin and Crosby. How meaningful was it for you to have raised your game to that level, to be mentioned with those guys, to be mentioned for that award?
Well, first off, I think you don't get there unless you're surrounded by a lot of great people. And we had a really good year last year, and we obviously achieved something that we hadn't done since I've been here. And obviously, it's been a while since the team's been in the playoffs, and to do that, you need everyone contributing. And I think the guys I played with and everyone on our team are a big part of my success, and they're a big reason for that. So, but for sure, you take a lot of pride, I guess, in the way I've been able to keep getting better and push myself to compete against the best and try to, like I said, be consistent, come out on top, and never be satisfied. So it's something else to build on and trying to get better from last year.
You mentioned that success of last season, obviously playing the Penguins very tough in that first round, losing in 6 games. What are your expectations for the Islanders for this season?
Well, I think they are same as every year. You focus on trying to hopefully win the Stanley Cup, and it's a long road. It's a long process. So I think first and foremost, you come into the year getting ready for training camp and focus on getting off on the right foot and feeling good, working on things, and seeing things come into your game and as a team that you work over the summertime, and then obviously you get into the season and you kind of want to go, obviously game by game and get off on the right foot and then obviously get to the playoffs and know what it takes just to get there. And I think we understood a lot of that, the commitment that was needed and the mindset and focus and the expectation always has to be the best and achieve to be a champion. So. I think that's obviously our goal. I don't think it's something you think about or try to focus on every day, but it's obviously what we want to achieve.
Now, before this John Tavares, there was another John Tavares, and actually he's still playing lacrosse. Your uncle, same name.
Yeah.
How much did he influence you growing up, and how much was lacrosse also a part of your athletic background?
Yeah, I played lacrosse right up until I was turning 17, so I played for a long time. I played junior A lacrosse in Ontario, it was huge. I see things today in my game that you can say that translate from lacrosse to hockey. So, when I was 10 years old, I thought I could play both professionally at the same time. I don't know how I thought I was going to be able to do that, but my uncle was big. Was my favorite athlete. He still is, and lacrosse is such a big passion of mine. I miss it so much. I still watch a lot of his games online and follow the sport closely. So. I used to go to his practices and be the ball boy for the team around 10, 11 years old, and I got to be in the locker room with him and got to see, the way he handled his teammates and how hardworking he is, and he was just never satisfied either with his game and always trying to improve it. I remember him working on his stick after practice, before practice, trying to make sure it was working the right way, and it's the way he involved his teammates, and it was great to be around that, and I think you realize and start to understand more now the impact it might have made, spending that time with him with the team.
He's your favorite athlete. If I asked him, would he say you're his favorite athlete?
Probably not. Probably his son. He's pretty entertaining.
If you hadn't made it in hockey, do you think you would have made it in lacrosse? Could you have made it in lacrosse professionally?
I think so. I played junior A lacrosse when I was 14, so I was a double underager, and guys were a lot older than me. Growing up, I was playing with kids 3 years older than me, so I definitely got tough playing against a lot of those kids, 10 years old. Some of them were 13, and that was a big age difference. I took some beatings some games, but like I said, I loved playing. It was such a passion of mine. When it came summertime and I put the skates away and stick away for 2 months, I would have that lacrosse stick in my hands 23 hours a day probably. So how much I worked at both sports and how much I love to play both. I guess hockey didn't work out or I chose a different path. I like to think that I had the passion for it to hopefully would have kept playing.
You mentioned the toughness of yourself on the lacrosse field. Obviously, hockey players tough on the ice as well. I have to ask you about a game against the Blackhawks last week. It was caught on video where you get hit in the face with a puck, and then you're on the bench kind of just dislodging a tooth or two. What happened there?
Yeah, well, those teeth were already knocked out, so they were fake. So it wasn't as painful, I think, as people thought. I mean, it was a little tough pulling them out because they were cemented in, but they were fake teeth, and I had them put in about 3-4 days earlier, and the puck hit me in the mouth, not really that hard, and because they were just put in, I felt them kind of get loose, and I was like, I'm just going to have to pull them. So I pulled them out. Now trying to figure out what to do next, how to fix these. So I think this week I'm supposed to get something done, and hopefully they don't come out anymore.
But that's a hockey player thing to do. You're saying that it didn't really hurt and it wasn't that big a deal, but I don't know that the average person could just do that. I think they would make an appointment at the dentist's office. They wouldn't do it on the bench right there. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's a little distracting when your teeth are kind of dangling a little bit, and like I said, they were already fake, so They already been knocked out a couple times, and it got kind of routine. So I don't think it's as big as a deal. I think maybe some people made, but if it makes me look tough, I guess I'll take some credit for it.
You guys are getting the opportunity this year to play outdoor hockey at Yankee Stadium against the Rangers. I know you were at the stadium earlier this season to throw out a first pitch to honor that and talk about that. How cool an experience do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, it's, I really haven't thought about it a whole lot just because, like I talked about, you focus on getting ready for the season and then try and take things day by day. But it's obviously going to be a lot of fun. You've seen what the Winter Classic and the Heritage Classic has brought to our game and our league and what makes it so special. And to be part of something like that at such a historic place with a historic rivalry in our sport, it's going to be a special event. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and obviously, hopefully we can get the win that night.
We talked about hockey, we talked about lacrosse. How about baseball? Are you a Toronto Blue Jays fan, I would imagine?
Yeah, it was a tough year for us. A lot of hype before the season, and not so great during the season this year. So hopefully next year can be a little better.
Now, when you watch a baseball game, what are you looking for? What are the things that stand out for you watching other athletes?
Yeah, I think I just enjoy watching other athletes and what makes them great at what they do, or special athletes. So, I whether it's watching a guy like Jose Bautista, or, I went and saw the Jays play the Dodgers this year, so watching a guy like Hanley Ramirez or Yasiel Puig and what makes them special athletes. So, I love Jose Bautista just because his work ethic and an all-around player, and you see a guy like Hanley Ramirez with his speed and quickness, and Yasiel Puig is pretty talented with his strength and his power. So, and then, I've always enjoyed baseball as a sport and played any sport really there was as a kid. So, I think you respect those guys for what they do and what makes them special.
Now, you're already busy with hockey and lacrosse. Did you ever give baseball a shot? Did you play it?
No, I never played. So, I've done, I did BP with the Jays once, so that was a lot of fun. That's probably as close as I got.
How did you do? Did you get any?
I got one out, so yeah, I'll take that. So, it's funny. I got up to the plate the first time I went twice through, and I could barely get it past the second base. And the hitting coach is out there, and he goes, you got a good swing. You just got to relax a little bit and stop trying to power it through. And he kind of showed me a couple little things, just tiny little things, couple adjustments, and then the ball just felt like a sponge after that, and was hitting them pretty well. So I was able to squeak one out and say I hit one out of the park. So
that's pretty cool. Did anybody get the ball for you, or wasn't that?
No, I guess I was too fired up to even think about it. I should have grabbed the bat. I think I was using J. Pierre and Sebia's bat, so I should have grabbed this bat and probably should have went and got the ball, but I was too fired up. I was with a few of my buddies, and we were pretty pumped. So,
not only are you the face of the Islanders franchise, but Mike Vaccaro, a columnist of the New York Post, recently did a column where he said of all of the faces of each franchise in New York, that you were the franchise athlete in New York. What did you think when you were alerted to that?
I don't know. I guess it's the way I've kind of seen things when people say face of the franchise or things like that. It's stuff I don't try to really worry about. Obviously, New York is such a special market, such a special place to be, to live, to raise your kids here, to do so much. Sports means so much to people. It's a special place. When I got here, I could really see what New York City and the metro area really is all about, and how passionate people are about all those things. And I guess to be recognized across all sports, not just hockey, is pretty cool and pretty humbling. I don't think it's something I try to stick my chest out about, but I just try to be who I am and not change a whole lot, and just go about my business every day and trying to get better, and to win the Stanley Cup. That'd be great to bring that back here, and I love playing for this team and love living here. So it's a great place to be.
Had the chance to cover Derek Jeter for his whole career, and he's talked about, since becoming captain, about how he tries to be a captain, and for him a lot of it is just leading by example. You're obviously the captain here. What kind of captain are you?
Yeah, when I'm asked that question, I don't know if I try to be a certain type of captain. I think I just try to be who I am, and I think I was given this responsibility, this opportunity, just because of the way I've been able to grow my game on the ice, and the way I've been able to kind of grow into the person I am off the ice. And I don't see there's any reason to change that. I think you're always trying to get better and try to improve and get to understand things better, but I don't think you're trying to change anything. So, I've always been a guy that, like I said, try to never be satisfied and never take a play off, a shift off, a day off in practice. So I just try and work hard, and I guess that's more leading by example. And we got such a tight group in here. A lot of us been together for a while. It's easy for us to get along, and when there's communication amongst ourselves, I think everyone respects each other, and I think I've gotten more comfortable speaking up in the locker room myself, and I'm sure that'll continue to grow and get to understand things. So, I've learned a lot from Doug Waite and Mark Streit, not just great captains for us, but also really good friends of mine. So, I love the way Dougie would just involve everyone in the locker room, and that's something I really appreciated from him when I first came here, is how no matter who you were, how many minutes you played, or your role in the team, it was just as important as the next guy next to you, and I really felt like that makes a big deal in a locker room. So, I think it's just trying to learn things from different people and get to know yourself better, get to know the team better, and it's been a pretty good transition so far.
And I know your focus is here and trying to win with the Islanders, but 2014 is an Olympics year as well. How meaningful would it be for you to represent Canada and try and win a gold medal?
Yeah, it'd be a dream come true. I remember watching '98 Olympics that were obviously disappointing. It was the first year the NHL had the players there, and then 2002 was such a great moment for our country. To win after 50 years, and it meant a lot. And obviously, I think the Stanley Cup as a hockey player, you look at it as the greatest achievement you can achieve. But as an athlete, being an Olympian and competing for a gold medal is right up there. And just be a part of the whole Canadian Olympic team. That'd be something that's pretty spectacular, pretty unique, and then obviously to represent Canada in the game of hockey, something we take so much pride in, and is not just a sport that we love so much, but it's really in who we are as Canadians, and how we learn life lessons, and how it translates to so many different things. It'd be one heck of an experience. Be great to be part of that team, and hopefully it works out.
What's the greatest life lesson you've learned from playing hockey?
It just teaches you to appreciate some stuff that you do every day. You appreciate being able to come to the rink, put skates on, and being able to go out there and just be able to play something that you love, play a sport, and you don't take things ever for granted, because things could be a lot worse, and some people aren't as fortunate. So that's what it's always taught me, is you're pretty lucky, pretty fortunate to be doing what you're doing every day, and not everyone gets to experience something that I'm so fortunate to get to do.
This is another lucky day for you, because every time we end these interviews, we usually open a pack of baseball cards.
Oh, really?
But because we're in your arena, look what I dug up. The year you were born.
1990?
1990 Topps hockey cards.
It's quite the wrapping they got on here.
We're both going to open it, and
Alrighty.
whoever has the best card gets to keep both packs.
All right.
So we'll have a little debate about it.
I used to have a pretty good hockey card collection when I was a kid.
Oh, you're dropping the gum. This gum is as old as you, so I'm not sure either one of us wants to.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch that.
I'm starting off with a New Jersey Devils team card. Okay, that's interesting.
Mike Lute, goalie, Capitals.
Yep. This might be my leader in the pack right here.
Yeah.
Luke Robitaille.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's good. I got Cam Neely. Yep, Cam Neely.
All right, that's a very, very good one, but I'm hanging on to my number one guy right here.
And Jared Gallant.
So who do you think your number one is?
Probably Cam Neely.
How about this, Brett Hall?
Brett Hall? Yeah, you got a pretty good pack there.
I mean,
I think you rewrap these things. You open them up and you rewrap them.
After 23 years, you think I'm going to tamper with these things?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you take it. You take the pack of cards.
I get the win.
Yeah.
John, I appreciate the time. Best
Awesome.
of luck this
Thank
season.
you. Thanks a lot.